What the f? What the f? What is he doing? Is that a glitch? Bro, what is that? Bro, hello?
Overwatch 2 had a buggy launch, no doubt about it, but the devs put all hands on deck to address the server problems. And at least for me on PC, the last few days I've spent grinding the game, and I think I've seen a player drop out maybe once. Some of you may be thinking, is it safe to go into competitive mode? Well, you can take it from me. It seems like the changes and fixes they put through to the servers have worked. And although intentionally making there a queue in order to log into the game is annoying, doing so stabilized the experience, and I think the coast is clear in that regard. But of course, Blizzard has a lot of things to still fix. I fell victim to the first-time user experience bug, which locks away most of the cast, aimed to help a new player gradually learn the game, and I'm almost interested in trying this just to see what it's like, progressing through the hero unlocks and playing in that player pool if that is indeed what I'd be in. But not a fun accidental experience, and I surely will have to stop queuing competitive because of this. Blizzard just tweeted out that Bastion and Torbjorn are going to be going away for a while, locked in order to fix the shown bug from earlier in the video, or for a different issue, but Bastion because you were able to spam his artillery almost infinitely. Not to mention, of course, they're still progressing on a lot of the account merge issues. So an update on all of this. If for whatever reason your game experience isn't bugged, and you do get into play, things seem pretty good, but they're not fully done yet. One important area that we did not get a chance to chime in yet in the conversation is about the monetization of the game beyond the battle pass. So a thing that people noticed that I can't even go into game and find because my shop has changed already, but legendary skins going to cost $20, which maybe is reasonable for another game, but considering old school Overwatch 1 skins now have a new price tag, it looks kind of ridiculous. And also, the messaging on this subject has been horrible from Blizzard because they said that the old Overwatch 1 currency was going to be retired, telling you just to buy up all of the old cosmetics from Overwatch 1 because it's not going to be useful in 2. But then they actually did kind of a cool thing where the 3 new heroes, the basic recolors at least, maybe not the battle pass skins, but a lot of the cosmetics for the new characters are purchasable from your Overwatch 1 credits. I don't know how many new heroes that's going to count for, but a bit of a miscommunication blunder, and we don't seem to know what Blizzard intends, which doesn't seem to be in line with any price scaling for the quality of skins or the context of when it came out. Like legendary skins when the game came out were kind of a different thing compared to the super mega legendary skins we got later. At least that's how I feel. Something that I think I haven't heard a single content creator mention is that Overwatch 1's loot box model wasn't praised as some generous system way back in the day. In fact, the drop rates were considered incredibly bad at the start launch of the game. Those were tuned significantly into the system we grew to appreciate as being called generous. We forget Overwatch 1's loot box was tweaked so that there would be duplicate item protection, where when a new event would come out, it would bias towards the things you didn't have, which increased the value of each box by a lot, dropping the luck and chance and the necessity to have a lot of them. Here's an article from 2017. Overwatch's loot box system is Blizzard's true masterpiece. Quote, the Overwatch business model could become the gold standard for shooters. Yeah, how did that one work out? But I bring this up because both, I think Blizzard would be interested in tuning this, but also to remember that the old model didn't work. It's so incredibly weird how the opinions of these things shift so radically over time. I find this also interesting because an article from last year in 2021, Overwatch's loot box obsession feels out of touch from PC Gamer. And this perspective is so clearly from the point of view of a player that stops in once in a while to check in on the game rather than someone who plays it a lot. Because from last year, they didn't like needing to get the skin they wanted out of a random box that they would eventually get per player level or, you know, flex queuing or whatever, or needing to buy it with credits. And if you want to actually get the thing you want, you'd have to play a lot or drop money into the system. And I think the truth about the Overwatch 1 loot box system was it would cascade its value over time. It had momentum because of the duplicate protection. As you bought some loot boxes, your necessity to buy more went down and down and down because the new boxes you got would fill the gaps in the collection anyway. And then anything you really wanted to specifically get, you would use currency for. So it just like made it so easy to be a completionist in that system. It was more rough for players that didn't put extra money in already or only played once in a while. I bring this up because I just feel like people want to have their cake and eat it too with everything. I'll admit I cringe seeing old school legendary skins from Overwatch 1 with a near $20 price tag. But on the other hand, all of those super fair adjustments they made to allow dedicated live service players to easily collect everything meant that a lot of us just kept playing the game without putting money in, and that's a recipe for the game to die. I don't want that, and I hope you don't want that. But I hope there's a better middle ground that can eventually be reached, and it still feels a bit undercooked as is. On Twitter, SVB suggests a dusting mechanic, which is in Hearthstone, where you pay for the card content, and cards you don't want, you can dust in order to make a crafting currency that you can collect that can then be used to go after things you actually want. Whereas in Overwatch 2, the premium currency is only available for purchase separately or in the Watchpoint pack and in the weekly challenges, but it's very, very slow to get. So slow that it's going to take you, I don't know, I'm not a scientist on this channel, 100 years to get one legendary skin, okay? Forever. While the challenges are set up pretty good, that if you grind them, you can afford a battle pass, which is comparatively incredibly good value and important to have, especially when there's a hero in it. The skins outside of the battle pass are kind of over the top, but they're not over the top in comparison to other live service games, and they get everything they want, okay? The benefit of having a system where you pay the company for the product you want is you get things you want. That's the world I want to live in, and I hope we can find some middle ground. And I think even already, the opinions on a lot of these things are molding and will continue to over time. As Samido keeps saying, it's a marathon, not a sprint. We've only had Overwatch 2 for less than a week, and the more distance that we create from the way things were that didn't work to the way things need to be in order to keep that constant pipeline of content they keep talking about, I think it's hard to argue with the results of the gameplay. Yes, things are buggy and they still have a lot more to work out, but I've literally been so addicted that I haven't stopped to make content yet. I've been grinding ranked on all 3 roles, and I'm excited to see how high I can get, or what characters are the best, or how the different matchups work. I love playing this game, and now I gotta make content about it. That's right, I don't just play the game for fun, I forgot. Wanted tweeted out, Overwatch 2 is feeling like 2016, 2017 Overwatch again. Mark my words, it'll be the #1 game in 2023. And if that PvE content is any good, I tend to agree with him. Sir Swag tweeted out, basically review video he made titled Overwatch 2 is great, you guys are just mean. A lot of the hate and backlash on any Blizzard game always feels inflated, where a lot of it is disproportionately emotional compared to the grounded reality that can exist. I would not be surprised if they tweak this system again. I'm just hesitant to demand anything that could jeopardize the resources the devs need to keep doing their job. Because although this game is early access, work in progress, with problems they gotta fix, they're working hard to do so, and the gameplay deserves it. Recently, Siegel watched my response to his video on his stream, which is always interesting to see someone you respect so much react to your content, come up with counterpoints. And one of the biggest things he had to say to me was he wishes I went more in depth in his original State of Overwatch video, where he outlined all of the gameplay problems in Overwatch 1, essentially. Lacking agency, the game being about counterpicks, etc. And I guess he thought I was going to detail that more. I didn't in my video because I think it's just so blatantly obvious that I don't even have to prove the point. But maybe that's what's required to say out loud. How balanced Overwatch 2 is a design masterpiece that I think gamers are just taking for granted. It's like we're looking at everything else. But the fact that this game allows for so much gameplay diversity, and I don't think we must have a ban system just to make it work, is remarkable. I don't think it requires a detailed analysis to look at Siegel's 2018 State of Overwatch video and how the devs used it as a template to fix the entire game. And this isn't even the complete game yet. We knew this is a rush timeline. We know they ran out of money by making skins too easy to get. So I'm just putting this conversation to rest here, okay? Got a lot of other content I want to make, not related to these subjects, but I just wanted this to be like my last word on it before we talk about the actual game. I like it. Most people seem to like it. I hope they listen to feedback on the wonky skin system. At this point, I'm bored of talking about it. I'm sure you're bored of listening. I got a lot of sick videos planned about the gameplay of Overwatch 2. Guys, that's everything for today's video. Check in on where we're at in the state of Overwatch. I'm going to be spending a lot of time in the edit suite making content over the next coming days. So to make sure you don't miss out, be sure to click the bell icon to actually get notified when our new videos arrive. Leave a like on the video to show support. That's been it for me. I've been Frito for your Overwatch. I'll see you guys next time.